Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. And for today, I will be sharing with you 3 top things that I've learned from a book that has helped me with my meditation practice. And this book is called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Before we begin, I'm going to share with you 2 disclaimers. And number 1, what I'm going to share with you is a personal anecdote from me to you, so that if you want to use them in your meditation practice, by all means go ahead. And number 2, I want to share with you that this book contains a lot of elements that is hard to grasp. So be patient and be mindful as you read them. Okay? So, let's start. So, the first thing that I want to share with you is this idea of belief. And I strongly believe that everybody possesses this quality or this ability to believe in things, right? So, how does belief apply to meditation? When I used to meditate, I will always close my eyes and think about my breath, the breathing in, the inhalation, and the exhalation, just thinking about it happening as I sit and wait for my mind to bring me into my meditative state. But after reading this book and learning a little bit more about belief, what I do now is to command my mind to believe that I am able to go into my meditative state. So what's the difference between this and my previous practice is that if you allow your mind to believe in doing something and you command it to be, it will be. It's a simple method that we take for granted. It says here, your subconscious mind is timeless and spaceless. Go to sleep believing you have the answers now. Do not postulate the answer in the future. Have an abiding faith in the outcome. Become convinced now as you read this book that there is an answer and a perfect solution for you. So, the reason why I allow myself to believe that I am able to get into a meditative state is because my mind is always thinking about a lot of things and I'll start to worry. But by commanding my mind to allow myself to get into a meditative state and then slowly thinking about my breathing, that sets my mind in the right mood to get into a meditative process. Alright, now moving on to our second point that I want to share with you today is the idea of habitual action and habitual thinking. Before I move on, I'd just like to make this disclaimer again that I personally think that there is no such thing as perfect meditation, and the expectations of meditation differs between you and me and every other individual out there in the world. Okay? So, habitual action. The word habit in and of itself already means doing something over and over again, right? Be it good or bad. And in meditation, it takes a lot of practice, so you gotta do it every single day if you can. But what's more important than habitual action, in my opinion, after reading this book, or what this book encourages you to do, is to make sure that you adopt habitual thinking. Because what it says is the habitual thinking of your conscious mind establishes deep roots in your subconscious mind. So, how does that help me with meditation is when I enter my meditative state. In the past, I will always complain to Daryl that it's so hard for me to get into meditative state because my mind is always preoccupied with a lot of things, thinking about what I did in the day, or what to do in the future, or just judging myself while I'm meditating. And that's why I started, to breathe. But while doing that, my mind is always occupied with a lot of things. Because that's what I've been thinking about, that habitual thinking, that my mind is always preoccupied. So after reading this book, it's made clear that the things that I think about on a conscious level does affect the subconscious mind. And after understanding it a little bit more, I adopted a different way of habitual thinking in a manner whereby I think about how easy it is to get into a meditative state. And that ease comes through a very calm mind and a very calm heartbeat as well, and be patient about getting into a meditative state. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat, but there are days whereby it's so tough to get into that, meditative process, that meditative state. But more often than not, I do get into a meditative session whereby it's so easy to get into it because my mind is ready for meditation. So I want to encourage you to not just adopt a habitual action of meditation, but habitual action of positive thinking, of doing things on a conscious level that will affect your subconscious mind. The third and final thing that I would like to share with you of how this book has helped me with my meditative sessions or meditative processes is the idea of mental image and picture. Okay, the reason why I kept this last is because I don't know if everybody learns or receives knowledge the same way as I do. And I'm a very visual person, so whenever I get into a meditative state or in my meditative process, I think of images or narratives that play in my mind. Before reading this book, I have already been doing that, and I don't know whether it was right or wrong, right? But I guess what's been written in this book gave me that sense of assurance and affirmation that whatever I'm doing in my meditative processes was just an option that anybody could do, right? So one of the things that it says here in the chapter of how your subconscious mind removes mental blocks, which is highly a problem for me, is the power of your mental picture, that what I mentioned in the beginning, right? So it says here, this author encourages his client that he told him that he could liken his conscious mind to a camera, that his subconscious mind was the sensitive plate on which he registered and impressed the picture. This made a profound impression on him, and his whole aim was to firmly impress the picture on his mind and develop it there. Films are developed in the dark, likewise mental pictures are developed in the dark room of the subconscious mind. So how I visualize the things that I think about in my mental picture is to have a certain narrative. And with that, I'd like to conclude today's episode with summarizing the 3 things that I've shared with you. Number 1 is to adopt a better belief system for yourself. Number 2, adopt a habitual behavior and habitual thinking, which is much more important than habitual behavior, in my opinion. And lastly, number 3 is to think of mental images in your head that will help you and aid you in your meditation practices. So, different people have different approaches to meditation, and this book is not just limited to meditation. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind talks a lot about how your subconscious mind can really help you in different aspects of your life, be it wealth, relationship, self-healing, for example. So if you haven't had the chance to read it, you can, I'm not the author of this book, by the way. You can get it on like bookstores or get a PDF version online. So if you like this video and you found it helpful, please help me click the like and subscribe button. And if you have any comments or if you thought that this video is really good, write down on the comment below. Alright, so thank you very much. Have a great week ahead and I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao.